All right, guys, good morning. I am Sheena Gutierrez with Keller Williams and the Bella Homes team. I have been an agent for about, I don't remember, 4 years or more. I love what I do. I love that I can be a realtor, be a mom, a full-time mom, a full-time realtor. I can work from home, work from my office, work from Starbucks. I can bring in money, and my big why are my children, so I could take them on vacations. I was an export manager and imports and exports. I came from freight forwarding. And when I was in high school, I did sales for makeup. So I kind of had a little sales background, but freight forwarding for 6 years, first 2 years of my child's life, I only saw her for an hour to put her to bed. So so being a realtor meant so much to me when I was able to do that. And you do know that I think a high percentage, 80, 90% of, was it maybe 80% of realtors drop out the first year, 70%. So if you stick to lead generating, I promise you can be a great realtor and be a great parent or spouse or whatever and have everything you want. It's all about time management. It's all about lead generating, and it's all about follow up. Now, my class isn't going to cover Ignite and scripts and the basics that you've already taken. You should have that core training already. My class is just to give you a little spiel about how I do for sale by owners, how I got where I got, and give you tips, tools. I wanted the class to be more of a Q&A and like how to do it, not this is what you should do. This is how I did it. So if you feel like it's not what you want or you have more questions, just hop on, unmute yourself. I can answer questions or go over something else or pull something up. I had two little slides that I found that I liked just to have like a base to look over. Let me figure out the share screen, desktop. And this class is about expireds and for sale by owners. Expireds, most will relist, usually do so quickly. Very true. Once you see it on the MLS as expired or your lead-based services that you pay for, you have to call right away. We'll go over how to get that shortly. You have to call right away. You have to follow up right away. The reason why they've expired is because the agent wasn't able to sell it. Price was too high, could be anything. At this point, expireds, the clients are usually frustrated, angry, depressed, or in denial. The agent is at fault for this one, according to the sellers, typically. So you want to get there the same day that it expired and show them your value. You want to ask them, why do you think your home didn't sell? Because they might think it's the agent. They might think it's the price. They might think it's marketing. You know why it didn't sell, but you're going to twist it to find out why. You've got to understand who you're talking to. You got to hear them and kind of mirror match them, see their personality and kind of agree with them, but also get them to understand that yes, they're right, but the price needs to be worked on as well. Or, get an angle and get to where you need to get to in order for them to work with you. And then you get a home on the market that sells. And you are the expert. I specialize in homes that haven't sold the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. I am your agent. Understand that marketing, you felt like the home wasn't marketed right. Well, here's my plan. And let me schedule an appointment to meet with you today so that I can show you that. The next one, I can exit out of there. My favorite, for sale by owners. Only 30% will ever do it again. Timelines. This is very, very, very important. I'll tell you why later. Most sellers list with agents within 48 weeks. Agents quit working for sale by owners fast. Very, very true, which is why I love it, because everyone will call the same database service and everyone will stop calling them again. They'll try maybe a week or two later. Well, 10 weeks, 10 of them will do it week 1, 4 of them will do it week 2, 2 of them will do it week 3, and only 1 will do it week 4. Problems of for sale by owners, marketing, and I'm that one. Marketing for traffic, what for sale by owners come across as an issue is marketing for traffic, getting the deposits for money, handling paperwork, buyer qualification loans, inspections and repairs, strategies. There's many ways to help them, which we'll go over shortly. Okay, if I'm talking too fast, any questions, just let me know, please. Okay, here's my.
Yeah, Sheena, I have a question.
Yes.
Usually, like we have to put a voicemail. They don't pick up the phone. Like, is it true? Most of the time, we just leave a message.
Okay, so I will get there. 1 second.
Sure, not a problem.
Yes, and that is the first thing I have here is what do? I cold call. How do I cold call? What I use is Arch Agent. There's Vulcan 7. There is Land Voice. There's Land Voice dial-up. There is Vulcan 7 with a dial-up where you're constantly calling and people are answering. And if they don't answer within the first 3 seconds, you can set up with Vulcan 7 a recorded voicemail that leaves a message for you. I like to use the Arch Agent. Why? Because it's cheap. And I am all about saving money. The less I could spend and the more money I can make, that's what I want. Different trainings. I am constantly watching videos, listening to people, their tips. I have speakers that say, never leave a voicemail, just keep going on to the next one. Some that say, always leave a voicemail. Who are you? Are you that agent that is like, Dean, he's a go-getter. He keeps going. He's great at for sale by owners. He has his own way of doing things and he is very successful. Then you have Sheena, who is more of, I love to work with seniors. I love to work with, I like to work with all kinds of people and I'm not rushy. And there are times where maybe I should have been, but I feel like that's how my clients stick with me. I leave voicemails and I have a caring voice and I try to, I give them a little quick spiel. Sometimes I will leave a voicemail. This is Sheena with Keller Williams. I say it so fast. I'm looking at your property and I think I have a buyer, or I think I'm interested in your property. Can you please give me a call back? Again, this is Sheena with Keller Williams, 847-217. So it's how you leave that voicemail that's important, but I always leave a voicemail. Mm-hmm. So you can leave a detailed voicemail or you can leave show that you're interested. Over time that I've been doing for sale by owners for 4 years, I've switched completely different kinds, different ways that I do it differently each season, and then I stick with what I like after I try different things. But I've always left a voicemail, Shaheen, especially if it's in the area I want. The problem that I came across with Vulcan 7 and other databases is that, and a lot of people, I'm sure Caesar and Dean love using it and they love to go everywhere. What I like to do is get these services the night before and go through them and there's like all these pages of numbers and weed out what I want. I'm not driving to places that I don't know, Burbank that I don't know the neighborhood. I want to focus on the area that I like, where I want to go. I have children. I don't have time to drive 2 hours away and talk about a neighborhood that I really don't know. So I have Northwest suburbs, and then I started getting leads in Chicago, and now I know Albany Park and Rogers Park, and I'm familiar with Chicago. So then I start calling them, and then I start looking in Des Plaines, Mount Prospect, the Chicago area, and you start growing. So it can be scary if you just jump in and you call these numbers, and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Focus on an area. Stick to that area, learn that area, fake it till you make it. If you're new and you live in Des Plaines, but you want to do Mount Prospect, Arlington Heights, look up the neighborhood, look up the schools. Before I go to an appointment, I drive and look for the school, and I Google it, and then I always reference the schools when I'm talking to the clients, so that you know what you're talking about. The schools, the park districts, the libraries, just fake it till you make it. Learn about it right before you get there and say everything about it so that you're the expert. Um, Listing power tools is, oh, before I go there, action after a phone call. So ask for, while you're on the phone, ask if you can host a free open house for them and say that you are doing this to help them. Host it professionally like you normally do. When they ask you how they would benefit from it, you ask, I didn't check this typo. This is supposed to be from my notes. You're not supposed to be looking at this. Sorry. Ask them if you can keep any leads that aren't interested, that aren't interested in the home. Then tell them when they see how hard you worked on the open house, they will for sure hire you. It will be an interviewing process. So what I do is I try different things when I'm on the phone. I call, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, for sale by owners. You know, I saw your home and it's a beautiful home. I'd really be interested in meeting with you. Oh, well, I'm not looking to work with an agent. You get the angry ones and you get the nice ones. The angry ones will say that. I say, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. You know, if you just give me a chance. No, no, no. Well, I'm offering an open house service for you. I'd love to host an open house this weekend for you. You don't have to sign a contract. Work with me and I can host it, and whatever, any leads that aren't interested, I get to keep them. So it's a win-win. And if you like what I did to host and to sell your home and showed you what my value, then you can hire me and it'd be an interviewing process. I've done that before, and it's been successful.
Wow.
Other things I did, which is down here, was offered a no obligation contract. One of my clients, I did a 30-day contract and I got 5 deals out of that through different referrals. I said, if you allow me to see, if you, because for sale by owners, they and expireds kind of get a little nervous. They either worked with an agent before, or they don't want to work with an agent like you. So what I've done before is I've offered a 30-day contract, and if they're not happy with my services, it'll end quickly. No realtor offers that. And let me tell you, I've done that many times, and it is they've always extended the contract if needed. But never had to, because we've listed it and sold it right away. So those little techniques work. You can say it over the phone. A lot of classes I've learned is don't say much on the phone. And I used to talk so much, and then I ended up saying a little, like, just get your foot in the door. How do I get my foot in the door? I say, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. This is Sheena with Keller Williams. You know, I really, I saw your home on the market and I wanted to take a look at it. Well, do you have a buyer? I work on Bella Homes team, and we're having a team meeting tomorrow, and I'd like to take a look at your home so I can see what your home looks like, and I can present it to my team and hopefully have a buyer for you. Can I meet with you on Tuesday or at 7 or Wednesday? Which one works better for you? Oh, okay, Wednesday. All right, great. I just want to get my foot in the door. I've said it depends on the person you're talking to, what exactly they say when they answer. I've got a couple different scripts for them. So that is one of the things I wanted to say. Another thing that I say to them when they get on the phone is if they are willing to, if I can give them some tips, I'd love to come over and give them some free advice. My goal is to always offer them something. It's not about me listing their home. It's about offering them a service. Can I do an open house for you? Can I stop by and give you tips? Can I take a look at it, because I work with a lot of buyers in the neighborhood? I honestly don't have a buyer for you, but I would like to see if I can get you a buyer. And I think that would help you. Wouldn't you agree? And they'd be like, yes, yes. You know, I can meet you at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock this morning. Are you available? I try to get there the day that it gets on the market or the next day. We're trained to take these calls and go 2 days later, or, you know, put in if you have the time to go right away, go right away. Let's see. The next thing I wanted to say was if they don't answer, and it's in my neighborhood and it's a good house and I really want to sell this house. What I like to do is I go on my, one second, here it is. I go on my service. It's an AM card service. I'll show you how I got here, but I pay for AM cards. I believe it's $39. I love AM cards. I think it's priced moderately low and or it's well priced, and I am able to use this service monthly to send out cards. It's a AM cards has, you can keep them there, save them, so you just constantly change the address, change the photos. And what it does is it does everything I touch turns to sold, and I put their picture of the house and I put a sold sign right on it, or I'll have different signs. So when they see their house and it says sold, it attracts them. And then they look and I say, let me start by saying you have a gorgeous home. I would love to offer some insight on to help stage, prep, ultimately get your home sold. As I left my client home in Lombard, I couldn't help but see what potential you have as I drove by. With many years of experience, I am offering you a 1 free hour personal staging consult. Give me a call today. And then it has my information, and you can send them a little goodies that you can offer a gift on it. I just sent them a card. I don't have this one printed, the one that I'm showing you. Can you guys see my video? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very nice. It's a hard stock card and it looks like this, and it has a picture of their home, and you can change the font. You can, you'll have your information on the back, your call to action, and it's very effective. I've had people call me on that. So it's another way, if you don't get an answer, if you knock on their door, they don't answer and you leave paperwork, also send them a card, because you want to be in their face. You want them to see your face and constantly see the follow-up, because other agents just give up, and you're not going to be that agent that gives up. Any questions about AM cards?
No.
I wanted to give you guys all my tricks. I wanted you guys to see exactly what I use to get in that door. So, and before I can't get out of it. For sale. And here are, if you just Google for sale by owner calling services, that's what I did when I was looking for services. There's Mojo Sells, Vulcan 7, Arch Agent, which is my favorite, the My Plus Leads, Upcall, Land Voice, all kinds of different services that you can use. Okay. My favorite is driving past signs. I literally have friends sending me pictures of for sale by owner signs. I've had my parents send me pictures of for sale by owner signs in front of homes. I've reached out to my entire friends and family and said, if you guys see a for sale by owner sign, snap a picture of it, send me it, and tell me if you know what the address is. I literally got a client my first year by a sign that was on Manheim and Des Plaines. It was a for sale by owner. I called him, I asked him if I can help him sell his lot. It was a lot, and I've never sold a lot. I had no idea what a lot was. I was terrified. The office was happy to help me and help me sell the property. So all I had to do was get the contract signed. So I spoke to him, I met with him, I told him that I called him and I told him that I could sell his lot. And I'm a neighbor, I've lived in Des Plaines, worked in Des Plaines, grew up in Des Plaines. I know the area very well. Our agents we have over 180 agents. So I'd be happy to sell it to them, to the public, do my marketing, etc. He was so excited. He met with me. We met at Starbucks, and I just kind of got to know why he was selling it. Didn't know he had other properties. He didn't want me to know. So I found out why, and I offered him a contract with no obligations, can cancel at any time. Showed him what I can do for him. He signed the contract. We sold it right away. And he ended up listing with me 1, 2, 3 other properties. He has his own $1 million, $890,000 listing that he is getting hopefully ready this summer. But he's constantly giving me leads. He wants to buy, but it took that one chance, that one time, that follow up to for him to list with me. We met, and I think it took about 2 or 3 tries before I called him. It took 2 or 3 follow ups. Then we met at Starbucks. So it's all about following up. That's how I got his listing. Let's see, answer phone calls, action if they don't follow, the door knocking. If you see a home that pops up, give them a call. If they don't answer, send them a card. If they don't answer, knock on their door. I've gotten lucky where they've answered the door. Come with paperwork, come with anything. The one thing I wanted to show you guys, I didn't know what to come with at the beginning. I was scared. I didn't have a profile. I didn't know what to do. So what I did, I saw them at a seminar, was the listing power tools. Listing power tools. Oh, I should have had. Oh, here it is. Yay. Okay, I got the direct link. Listing power tools is it was $69 then. Now it's $100. It's a monthly service, and they give you this really big box. It's a briefcase. And in the briefcase, it has like examples of their marketing material, and it has the text number, and it has the mailers and everything. And so you bring one, because they give it to you the first time you sign up. And I would bring them with me, and I'd say, this is how I'm going to market your home. And it's all set up for you. I really didn't have to do much. And it just was, they were so excited that their home was going to be marketed this way. They were happy. I looked professional. I looked prepared, and I kept on getting listings this way. So if you're new to the game, this is a good way to do it. Otherwise, you can come with your pre-listing packets. You could come with pretty much anything. I come with as much as I can in order to look professional. And it's as little as, and I put that in one of my tips here. It's as simple as coming with one of these guys. This, I like to say, got me 6 listings. This guy is a measuring tool. I showed up with, I called, I wanted to meet with him. I want to see, I said, hello, Mr. Seller. I'd like to have an opportunity to sell your home. I'd like to go on an interview, and I'd like to see what your home has to offer in case I have any buyers. And if I don't have any buyers for you, I'd like to go on an interview and for you to give me an opportunity to sell your home. And so I came in and I measured the rooms with this guy, and I just wanted to get a few rooms. You don't have to measure everything. And he was so impressed that I came prepared. I was the only agent that came prepared that day, because he met with 4 other agents before me. And he listed a home with me, 411 North 4th. He listed a home. He listed another home with me. And then he referred me out to his son, who listed 4 homes with me. And we're still in the process of talking about other properties. Literally the first year, all I did was for sale by owners and expireds. And it just kept growing with referrals and this, and I'd constantly get more from the calls that I made. It's up until last year that I really didn't have to make too many calls, which is not what I'm saying to do, because if I did make all those, if I kept up with it, I would be at double or where I wanted to be with my goal. So don't be lazy, keep calling. I have Alexa constantly reminding me every day at 10 a.m. to lead generate. But that is, your business just keeps growing with these calls, because then you get your foot in the door and they're impressed with what you do. They're impressed with your marketing. They're impressed with you being genuine, and they're impressed with you selling their home, and they will constantly give you leads. How do you keep on getting these leads, or how do you follow up with them? It's very important. If you don't follow up, you aren't going to, it's not going to be as effective if you don't follow up. That's important. I was going to show you all my notes, but it was so many pages. I constantly kept this pipeline on hand. There's a newer version on command. Otherwise, you can write on your notebook. Oh, I lost a page. But I would constantly write the address, notes about them, information about them, and follow up. My success stories that I wanted to share was the fact that my follow-ups, one of them went a year, an entire year. I sold a house for $475,000 because I kept following up with him, because he was ready but not ready. The for sale by owners typically are either they need a little time or they're ready to go. This guy needed an entire year. Um, I would follow up 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I follow up weekly. And a lot of times it's hard for people to understand. And I'm very pushy. So it wasn't hard for me, but a lot of agents will say, well, I don't want to keep annoying them. What if they are afraid? When do I stop? You stop when they say, stop calling me. And I've never had a client say, stop calling me. Weekly, daily. Not, I would do every other day or every third day, but at least weekly I would call them. And if it's a hot client where you know they're going to list soon, call them every day. Call them, email them, and show them. And I joke about it. I go, I know, I'm so sorry I keep calling you. I love what I do. I'm very pushy, and that's how I get my home sold, because I don't give up. I'm constantly out there. So can we meet? Can we sign this contract today? So that is what I do, the follow up. Secondly, when I meet with these people, there are many ways to go about expireds for sale by owners. My favorite is for sale by owners, but with expireds, I say I'm the local neighborhood expert. I give them my stats. They want to see how you can do it better, how you can market their property better. I use a 360 video. I virtually stage. I am a certified stager. I offer all kinds of tips and tools that others don't. I work with millennials, and the new way that buyers are looking right now is through Pinterest, social media, TikTok, Instagram, where a lot of agents that are stuck in their ways won't use that kind of marketing. And that's how I sell homes faster. When you're genuine and you tell them exactly what you do differently, they will sign with you. I've been very fortunate that I can tell what they're looking for, and I get them to sign that way by just telling them the services I offer. When it's a for sale by owner, by owner, I get, well, I can sell it on my own. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, there are 5 different types of buyers. There are looky-loos, there are investors, there are first-time home buyers, there are move-ups and move-downs. The move-ups and move-downs are looking to downsize or get a bigger home. First-time home buyers, all 3 of them need an agent to hold their hand. So you just got rid of those 3. That's 60% of the buyers that you got rid of. Now you've got investors and looky-loos. Looky-loos are people that are not pre-approved, that probably couldn't get pre-approved. It's summertime. They want to see their neighbor's home. They're just nosy. They're wasting your time. Are you willing to waste your time to show a home to a client, to a buyer that is not pre-approved? Then you've got the investors. That's who you're left with. Well, investors are looking to pay 10 cents on the dollar. Are you willing to sell your home for 10 cents on the dollar? I know I'm not. I'm a flipper, and I constantly sell homes. And I myself, if I had the opportunity to sell for sale by owner, I wouldn't do that. I'd work as an agent. So if you think about it, for sale by owners, if you look up stats, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you can just Google it. How much do typically for sale by owners sell their home for? They sell their home for about 70% on 70% of asking price. Well, selling your home at 70% asking price, by the time you've shown your home to so many people, you've kind of gotten tired of dealing with people, you settle for 70%, right? Well, if you think about it, my average sales is 96% of ask price. And if it's 96% of ask price minus 70%, let's do the math, that's 26% that you'd be making more if you worked with me. Well, if you subtract the 6%, that's 20% more in your pocket. Wouldn't you want more money in your pocket? I know I do. So let's list today. Let's sign today. Here's the contract. Are you ready to sell? Thank you. Typically, those are my scripts. I stick to those scripts, and they work for me. Let's see why you guys are selling. I like to also, while I'm I used to offer so much advice when I got there, and it worked many times. Lots of times I didn't offer as much because then they took my stuff and then they would sell on their own. So I showed them some value. When I found out what exactly they wanted, what I did was I asked these three important questions. Why are you guys selling your house? When do you guys need to move by? And what will happen if it doesn't occur? So that you get to know why they're selling and just hit that as you're walking through the house. So I get into the house and I'm looking at the house and I kind of slowly ask these questions while I'm looking. Beautiful house. I love the kitchen, a lot of space. I like the open concept. And then I start throwing these questions in, and then I hit that motivation. And I'm okay. Well, if you sign today, you know, if you sign today, if it's important for you to move close to your kids and be with them, so that you can take care of your grandkids. Um, wouldn't that be important for you if we sell your house right away and you make more money? Yes. Well, let's sign today so that we can get you near your grandkids so that you can move on with your life, finish, say goodbye to your home and get you with your grandkids. Isn't that what you want? And that usually just gets them to feel that connection of why I need to sell, the pain of if what happens if I don't sell the home. So those are one of the three important questions I like to ask. Treat each day of prospecting differently, so you don't get bored. And if I'm talking too much, I'm sorry. If you don't get bored, so you don't get bored. Go to the office, make your calls 2-3 times a week, then go and door knock, then go and prospect differently by driving by and looking at signs. I like to go to the mall and head over, and on my way at least stop at 2 different for sale by owner signs, and or make a goal to stop before I go to the mall and I feel like I did it. But prospect every single day so that you can get these calls. Take a picture, write it down, put it in on your pipeline, and make sure that you call and follow up. Again, follow up is so important. How to look up expireds. If you want to come in the office and you're going to make your calls, what I like to do is I like to look up expireds, and I go to the MLS. Let's see if I'm signed in. If you don't want to pay for your services, that is fine. If you just wanted to make a few phone calls, what you need to do is you go to listings and you go to search detached singles. You're working from home and you want to look and canvass the neighborhood. You go to detached singles, you go to clear all fields, you go to expireds and canceled. And you select the area you're looking for. You don't want I will not settle for less than $150,000 home. You want to make sure that you don't go too far back, 1 month for now, and you look them up. It's very important that you make sure that they're not relisted. So I open up a second page, new workspace, and I go from the original page, I copy the address, copy, wait, I can't, okay, there we go. I paste it, and I will see that it is, no address found. What did I do wrong? It's active, so it was relisted. But you do that the night before you're going to make your phone calls. You go through this list here, and you'll find a few that haven't relisted because they're not sure what they're going to do. they're not sure if they're going to try to sell on their own. They think they can do it better than an agent. They're not sure if they're going to list, or maybe it expired and the realtor didn't follow up because he was embarrassed it didn't sell. So they need an agent. The way you can find out their phone numbers, you click on the listing, you click on the pin. Nope. Oh, here we go. You click on Remind, but you can go on the pin. This is a shortcut, or you can go through Remind, launch Remind, and typically, not always, but a lot of times, it'll have the address of, the phone number of the seller on Remind once it loads very slowly. Allow. Under additional people, slowly. Okay, here it is. Associated people. Sometimes they don't have information and sometimes they do. Sometimes you can look them up. If you copy and paste their name, it'll be on Google. I know I just looked at a listing yesterday and had the phone number. This is a way you can do it without having to pay for any services. But I do recommend paying for a service because your time is valuable. All this time that it takes for me to do all of that, I feel like it's not worth it for me, but some people are successful doing it that way. Let me see, I think no obligations. I wanted to see if I covered everything I wanted to say to you guys before I ask questions. I believe I did. All right, now I wanted to ask you guys, let's stop sharing, questions, Q&A. Let me know what questions you have. Oh, chat, 7 chat questions.
I just want to say that you shared such amazing information in such a short amount of time that gave so much clarity. That was awesome, Sheena.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
Agreed. That is, yes, valuable information. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
couldn't be
sure.
prouder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sheena, you've made me
Remember,
so
Sheena?
excited to
Yeah.
prospect.
I was so
cannot
much
wait
involved in it. Yeah.
Okay,
to
good.
stalk people.
Yes, and if you need more help or if you have more questions along the way, my number I can put in the chat. It's 847-217-2758. Just text me. I'm constantly helping out, just like tips or advice. I'd be happy to help you guys.
I remember this new young agent that called me and said, hi, I'm Sheena, I'm new, I'm making all these calls and nothing's happening. What should I do?
Keep calling.
Yeah.
Calling. You've gotten so good. I mean, you're still using some of the scripts we discussed when you were new, and you've added so many more and so much stuff to
Oh,
fine tune what you were doing.
thank
And that's the key. So the lesson here is you've got to do in order to get better, and then you'll have more and more results, especially as you said, follow up, follow up, follow up.
Yes. Yes.
So,
thank you.
Yeah. I think what I appreciate, Sheena, is that you're being authentic to yourself. And I think that's what we all have to remember is everybody's got a different sales style. Everybody has a different approach, and you're being authentic to what you're comfortable with, which will build, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
I think you did a great job, Sheena.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. All right. Well, anyone have any questions? If not, I think we're done.
one thing since we're recording that I must say, if people are on the do not call list, do not call them.
Yes.
That is our official office policy.
Yeah.
And on Arch Agent, it'll have a red stop sign to not call them.
Right.
And a lot of database services will.
But that doesn't preclude, that would be the word? Won't stop you from going and visiting them.
Correct.
unless they have a sign on the door that says no solicitation. So
Okay.
if they're on the do not call list, you can go and knock on the door. You can still mail them. You can do whatever you have. Or like, perfect example on Remind, sometimes they have 3 or 4 phone numbers for the same person.
What about the text? Can we do text? No? When it's do not call?
No.
No.
Nope. But sometimes they have 4 phone numbers. I'm sure Sheena, you've seen this in Remind. Sometimes they have 4 phone numbers for the same person, and only one's on do not call. So
Yes. Yes.
try the other 3.
I love that. I do that too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you don't know which one is theirs, or it might be their spouse, or it might be someone else that lives in the household.
Very true.
And you say, I'm calling about the house for sale, and then, oh, that's my folks. Well, can I call them? Sure, now you have permission.
Mm.
Very
There
true.
was a question in the chat. I think Vanessa asked.
Oh, about the service? Is that Arch Agents? Is she asking for,
Yeah, what is that service that you use that helps you gain those expireds and FSBO leads?
I use Arch Agents, which is, hold on 1 second. I think, where did I looked it up? If you Google for sale by owner calling services, you'll see a whole bunch, but this one's My Plus Leads. Here, let me put that in the link or in the chat. My Plus Leads. I don't, that's the website, but it's called Arch Agent. So here,
Okay,
put in chat. Where's the chat? There's the chat. There you go.
thank you, Sheena.
No problem. Any other questions?
Nope, that's it from me.
Okay. All right, guys. Well,
This
thank
was
you so
awesome.
much.
Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
I learned so much. Thank you, Sheena.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sheena.
Thank you,
No
Sheena. This
Thank
was
you.
awesome.
No problem.
Thank
Happy
you.
Friday.
You
Bye.
too.
You too.
You rocked it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Bye,
yes.
guys.
Let's take care now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now,
Bye.
Bye, Mariella.
Bye.
And
Now
Miss-
stop recording. Great job. See,
thank you.
so exciting.
I told you you would do awesome.
So I didn't